Hello, mysterious person behind the screen. Empress of Mars, the ninth episode of the 10th series of Modern Who. And, yeah, I really enjoyed this for the most part. It's, again, a very classic series feeling. Warm. Classic series feeling story. It certainly had that vibe with the Ice Warriors. It definitely felt like you could put John Pertwee into this story and he wouldn't feel out of place, I think. It's quite a Pertwee style story. Yeah, it's almost Base Under Siege, but not really, because it's just sort of this part of the planet, which was cool. And I enjoyed the sort of anachronistic Victorians on Mars thing. That was a really cool concept, I thought. If this is indeed Gatiss' last story, he's gone out on a cool concept, because it's really cool. And obviously the Ice Warriors are there. Friday. Every time they said Friday, it just reminded me of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because obviously Tony Suits and I called Friday in that, so you know, I just kept waiting for it to break out into an Irish robotic accent. But you know, also the Gargantua. Oh dear, the Gargantua. Immediate points for having it based off me. Although even my kid, it wasn't based off me, was it? But it was kind of cool. The Gargantua, the gun was quite. See, that's that reminded me of Monster of Paladon, because the mining thing in that story. I don't know why I did that. The mining thing in that story reminded me of the Gargantua in this, which was rather cool, I think. And overall, I think the Ice Warriors were used pretty well. I've seen a few complaints about the voices, and yeah, they bother me. They didn't hiss, but I saw someone say, well, actually, it's their own atmosphere, so they wouldn't hiss, which is true, but it doesn't explain Cold War. Were they hissing in Cold War? I think they were. I don't know. I'll have to check. But it doesn't explain that. But it's okay, it's just the voices at the end of the day. I thought, what was her name? Iraxa? The queen, or Rataxa? No, that's from Aztecs. Yeah, I don't know. The Empress, the titular Empress, I thought actually looked really cool. She was, the design was very sort of, it was classic and new at the same time, which I think was the best route to go. It sounded like Sarah Parish as the Rachnos. I'm looking over there because that's what the figure is. But it sounded like Sarah Parish as the Rachnos. It wasn't. It was a Dal Lynch, but it sounded like it. She was pretty cool. I really liked the voice of her, and I honestly liked that the Ice Warriors. They weren't defeated, really. It was a very peaceful ending, and that's what Doctor Who's about. It was like they went in peace and they're all friends again, and it's kind of nice to have that, because the last few stories have been quite dark. So it was kind of nice to have that. Because the Ice Warriors go off and Irax is like, the line is Mars is gone, but the Ice Warriors shall live on. And yeah, it's the Ice Warriors are really cool. They were threatening when they needed to be, but they were really, you know, they were good. You saw that the Doctor cared, because they were still, you know, beings. That was really nice. Also, their gun effect with the crushing, that was real cool. It was a really gnarly effect. Very creepy, horrific body horror there. With you see him crushed on the floor. When I first saw it in the trailer last time, I did think the effect looked really, really weak. But seeing it in motion, it actually makes sense. So it's crushing them. Crushing. It's crushing them. So yeah, that was cool. I may as well just get this out of the way. The Lord and God Saviour of us all, Alpha Centauri, is back for a quick cameo. When I first saw that, I thought, they're not sure, because I heard the voice. I heard what was it? Attention. I heard like, wait, no, they're not. They're not gonna do that. And then you heard, to whom am I speaking? This is Alpha Centauri. Welcome to the universe. I was just like, oh my god, they've done it. And you saw the eye. Oh, it was so. I love Alpha Centauri. Anyway, it's just a cool character. Saying it because it's a hexapod, has no gender, so it's just sort of lays it you're likely to say she because it's a female voice, but it's Alpha Centauri is back. Oh, I can't believe they actually did it. I mean, true, you do get a lot of people who've never seen The Curse of Peladon going, oh, I didn't get the reference. What's that about? But you know, I didn't like how the music swelled because it meant like people who didn't know were like, am I supposed to be caring? Is that a big thing? I think they should have just had it because in the clip. The behind the scenes clip they released where Moffat and Gatiss are talking about it, there's no music when that happens and it works a lot better, I think. But yeah, Empress Centauri's back! So good. But yeah, Empress of Mars, a proper classic feeling story. The Victorians were cool, except for that one dickhead. I really liked all the characters apart from him. He was cool. He needed a villain, but ultimately I liked how the story wrapped up really nice and peacefully for everyone, apart from him, because he deserved to die. But yes, I really enjoyed this story. Back on form after the last three episodes, the last three arc. Even though I enjoyed Pyramid, but it's still not. It's the Monk arc. Back on form, I think. So, you know, what did you think about Pyramid at the End of the World? If you liked it, if you didn't, please like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you in my next one. Take care now.